Restream bot. YouTube, E_pick_lift high. Restream bot. YouTube, Jelly drawing tutorials for kids. Hey, a live stream.
Hey, hello, hey Jelly, how's it going? Damn, you guys come here so quick. How'd you find it so quick?
YouTube, Jelly drawing tutorials for kids. Hey.
Hello, give me a second. Give me like 2 minutes. I'm doing something right now. I'm setting up stream right now.
Restream bot. YouTube, Jelly drawing tutorials for kids. Good.
How do you get here so quick? Give me a second.
Restream bot. YouTube, Malachi Laros Yo.
Hey my god, what up?
Bot.
Give me a second. Oh my gosh.
YouTube, ATG Rico, are you streaming the Rising Stars game? Restream bot.
Bro, it's so annoying. Okay, give me a second.
Jelly drawing tutorials.
Give me a second. Let me set up stream first. Give me a second. Let me set up stream first because I had to do stuff in the beginning. Bro, all-star games today. The Rising Star and Celebrities today. Sports, nope. There's so much stuff going on. Sports, nope. What the hell is this, man? Machine Gun Kelly's here. Hey Tanya, what up? Machine Gun Kelly, who else is in it? Machine Gun Kelly,
You can say no. So because you know how nice guy I am and I'm not.
9th celebrity game appearance is a charm. Number 619, Nick Cannon. He's a rapper, an entrepreneur, born and raised right here in New Orleans, wearing number 25. How cool would it be to say MVP for Master P? Now, let's meet the coaches for tonight's game. First, for the East, he's a record producer, radio personality, DJ, and author. Tonight he adds coach to his resume. Major key alert, DJ Khaled! He's a rapper whose latest album, Plato Plomo, was just released. Can he call plays like he can bust rhymes? Let's find out. Fat Joe! He'll be appearing in his third NBA All-Star game on Sunday night. Tonight, we'll see if he can coach as well as he can play. From the Toronto Raptors, Kyle Lowry.
bro, what the hell?
She's an award-winning sports journalist and co-host of ESPN's SC6 with Michael and Jamel. Jamel Hill! Now, let's meet the coaches for the West. He'll be playing in Sunday night's NBA All-Star Game. Let's see if he can motivate the Western celebrities like he does his teammates on the Warriors. Give it up for Draymond Green. And he's the Michael of ESPN's SC6 with Michael and Jamel. Give it up for Michael Smith.
Who? I heard this dude.
Fans, let's hear it for all our celebrity all-stars.
Microphone and moments here before the opening tip between the East and the West here at the 15th annual NBA All-Star Celebrity Game. We'll have a lot more on the other side of this. We'll hear from the coaches Michael Smith and Jamel Hill. The starters.
Fuck you and goodbye, but must be out of my mind. When it comes to the music, I'm stupid. When it comes to you, I just lose it. Fuck you.
Basketball legend, number 14, Oscar Schmidt.
Bro, what the hell is going on?
He's the co-star of Food Network's Chopped. Let's see if he can cook on the court like he does in the kitchen. Number 13, Aaron Sanchez. He's an actor and rapper who had them swooning in the stands at last year's celebrity game. OMG. It's number 10, Chris Wu. He's a comedian and a correspondent on The Daily Show with Trevor Noah. He's got jokes, but does he have game? Number 7, Hassan Minaj. You know him from Ebro in the Morning on New York's Hot 97. He can play hip-hop on the radio.
Bro, Scary Legendary is here.
On the court. Number 33, Peter Rosenberg.
I ain't leaving. Oh, Jelly. Sorry, I don't have the link. What the hell? None of the links work.
Her first name means my mother is super.
Mission Run starting ATG Rico.
She races here tonight from the Los Angeles Sparks.
I don't have a link for anything. What the hell?
She interviews NBA stars on NBA 2K TV, but tonight she'll try to prove that when it comes to basketball, she's more than just talk. Number 32, Rachel Demita.
Jelly, you should leave. Leave a second. I'm trying to find like the links and stuff.
Let's hope you learn some b-ball.
ESPN, yeah, it's on ESPN.
He's the lead singer of Arcade Fire and the first indie rocker to be named MVP of a celebrity game. Number 34, Win Butler.
Okay, next up we got Jack Harlow. This is the one we're waiting for. Number 80, Grammy
Like honey, I'm good. Tonight, let's see if that applies to his basketball skills. Number 00,
What's poppin'?
Wendy Graham.
Brand new whip. Yep, that's Jack Harlow. Jack Harlow's okay. Where's Quavo? We're excited to see Quavo. Okay, next up we got Quavo. Quavo, co-founder and honcho of Grammy-nominated group Migos. Quavo is gonna be the one we're keeping an eye on today. Let's go, Quavo. We're on the chat right now. I want you guys to smash that thumbs up button right now. For those of you to the channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Turn on post notifications to not miss any of my upcoming videos. Next up is the mayor of Cleveland, Mayor Justin Bieber. Let's go, Mayor of Cleveland, because of course the NBA
NBA draft.
He's in Cleveland. LeBron James enters the chat. LeBron! What's going on, LeBron? What's up, y'all? What's up, LeBron? What a win on Wednesday. Noah is the winner of the... Okay, let's go, Noah. And the final NBA All-Star celebrity is Daniel Boobie Gibson, 7-year NBA career, all with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Okay, I'm excited for today's game. What's going on, guys? So this is Rose, it's number 36. This is the Rose, and what is going on? My name is Steven, and basketball I do this every single day. I work with you live throughout the entire All-Star weekend. Anderson Varejao, 14-year NBA vet. Ooh! Anderson Varejao played with LeBron, played with Kyrie Irving, played on the Golden State Warriors is coming today. And so we got Miles Garnett, who's a round defensive end from the 2017 season to the present. I love it. It's all about Cleveland. Cleveland fans in the building. I want you guys to smash that thumbs up button right now. Come on, let's go, Tommy. Let's go. All right. Anyways, though, this game should be starting in 1 minute. The NBA All-Star Celebrity Game. I want everybody to get locked in. Everybody get excited for an absolute amazing stream. We're gonna.
He's a rapper, an entrepreneur, born and raised right here in New Orleans, wearing number 25. How cool would it be to say MVP for Mr. P? Now, let's meet the coaches for tonight's game. First, for the East, he's a record producer, radio personality, DJ, and author. Tonight he adds coach to his resume. Major Keeler, DJ Khaled. He's a rapper whose latest album, Plato Plomo, was just released. Can he call plays like he busts rhymes? Let's find out. Fat Joe! He'll be appearing in his third NBA All-Star game on Sunday night. Tonight, we'll see if he can coach as well as he can play. From the Toronto Raptors, Kyle Lowry.
We need Tuesday.
She's an award-winning sports journalist and co-host of ESPN's SC6 with Michael and Jamel. Jamel Hill!
Guys up, trading one of you. Do you two talk? Do you talk with JB about that? Is there an open dialogue about that?
Yeah, we've had plenty of talks. I think it's really picked up this year, especially in the beginning of the season. And you know, we had plenty of talks of like we asked each other like, "Yo, you want to be here?" And we both was like, "Yeah." Like he was like, "Bro, I don't understand." And I was like, "Man, this." You really think about it, we've had way more success together than this year, and you know what we didn't accomplish last year. JB's been in 3 conference finals. I've been in 2, and like you said, I think we're both still very far from our prime. And I think what people don't understand is like, all right, if you want to break us up, the grass is not always greener. Like, there's not a lot of guys in the NBA like JB. Like, so, or if you want to get rid of me, like, you know, not to toot my own horn, but I think I'm one of the best players. So I couldn't imagine why you wouldn't want to have 2 of the best players that are under 25, you know, on your team. And yeah, there are certain rough patches throughout the season, but we've won way more games together than we've lost.
What was your sort of reaction individually, of course, and you can address if your team talked about it, but what was your sort of reaction individually when Marcus made those comments earlier in the season about you and JB and you guys needing to pass the ball?
It caught me off guard, for sure. And I think what you have to, I guess, understand, I think with being in the NBA is, especially sometimes after, you know, we had just blown a 18-point lead or something to Chicago. Like, this is the beginning of the season, we probably like 2-5. Everybody's frustrated. We all on edge a little bit. So when I seen it, I was like, I wasn't angry. I wasn't mad or anything. I just waited till the next day, and I saw Smart at the facility, and we sat down and talked. And I think it was a very, it was a great talk actually. You know, we had some time to sleep. You know, the adrenaline was going from the game, and you know, he apologized for what he said, and you know that was something he shouldn't have said in the media, and that they got his words mixed up or whatever. And I didn't take offense. You know, I started off by saying, listen, bro, I'm not perfect. Like, I make mistakes. I still got I started off by saying, listen, bro, I'm not perfect. Like, I make mistakes. I still got a long way to go from where I'm trying to get to. But, you know, I think we ended the conversation on, you know, we in this together. We're all on the same team, and we're trying to figure it out. And, you know, obviously saying certain things like that in the media doesn't help anybody's case, because obviously that's all they talk about.
Happy indeed, Mr. Rick Barry. In both games, they were down a lot, and they come back to win. What'd you think of the performance from Team Barry?
I thought this team really gutted with, of course, when you talk about Cade Cunningham and Mobley, and I think Jason Tate was somebody that really stood out as well.
And there it is, the Clorox Rising Stars. T. Barry wins it all, but who will take home the MVP? We announce that next, right here on TNT.
For the next week or so, it was referring to Celtics, but wasn't the end of the world. No harm, there was no foul, and we're past it now.
Yeah, I think I'm not just saying this, Tommy, because he went to Duke. I think the amount of criticism, attention, critique given to you specifically and your shot profile as a young player in this league, I don't quite remember at any point in my career people nitpicking about a 20-year-old or it's been going on since your second and third year that people are constantly nitpicking your shot profile, the shots you take. And I tell people this all the time, but I wasn't this guy, but as a shot creator, what is a good shot and what is a bad shot when you have the skill set that you have?
Well, I like this guy a little bit more, or certain things, I guess, used to it.
Well, I think you mentioned feeling spoiled, a sense of being
with that whole situation, right? I think the narrative was Jason didn't make All-NBA, he loses $30 million, right? And from that headline, nobody's gonna feel bad for me. Like 50 people in it. Like none of us were used to that. None of us were used to waking up, testing in the morning. Sometimes shoot around had to be canceled.
Just think, look, let's have the 15 best players, those guys get all NBA. Let's vote on the 15 best players, regardless of position.
I'm all for that, because when you do positions, like you said, there might be half the media that doesn't know if DeMar is a two guard or if he's a small forward, and that could mess his vote up.
Position thing's antiquated. It's antiquated. Yeah. So DeMar probably in traditional basketball is a three. On that team, he functions as the primary playmaker. So in the traditional,
exactly,
you guys had versus who you're going up against, like it wasn't a normal. That's not a normal opponent,
right? And everybody, I think most of the media members said that, the ones that didn't vote for me said that we underachieved, and it's like, all right, last year was probably the weirdest season in NBA history. Like, from all the protocols, from playing in a 20,000 seat arena with 50 people in it, like none of us were used to that. None of us were used to waking up, testing in the morning. Sometimes shoot around had to be canceled because the tests weren't back in time. Like everybody's routine was thrown off. And then a lot of us caught COVID. We were the team most affected by COVID last year. I missed 19 days from the day I caught it to the day I came back. And 4 of our games had to get postponed because we didn't have enough people. And I think it took me 4 weeks, honestly, to like kind of feel back normal again.
Post-COVID.
Post-COVID. Yeah. And when I came back. So I just think like last year was a lot to digest. And it was the weird, it had to be the weirdest season in NBA history. And yet we were labeled as underachievers. And it was like hold on, all right, yeah, we still made the playoffs, right? But it was a lot more that went into us losing games than what happened on the court.
I basically gave everybody a pass, partially because I wanted to give myself a pass for what probably would be considered the worst season of my career. But look, I had two worst months of my life were January and February. Like until we got to All-Star break, because I was alone. Again, they put the protocols in place at the beginning of like a 2-week West Coast trip for us, where we couldn't leave our hotel and couldn't leave our apartment. Man, it's just I gave everybody a pass last year. I have no opinion. Whatever you did last year, I have no opinion on. Like if you were awesome, you're a sick fuck, and if you sucked, like you're probably still good. Right. It's whatever. I wanted to ask you about your clutch shots, and there's a bunch of them. I watched a ton today, and some obviously were fresh in my mind. Do you have a favorite, either game winner or clutch shot that you've made?
Most people want me to say the one last year against Giannis, first game of the season. I guess I'll always remember that, but the weird part was like, I turn around, I'm screaming, and nobody is in the stands. Like nobody was there. Had it been, a regular opening season night, that would for sure be number one. I think maybe my third year against the Knicks over RJ. It was, first half of the season. That might be my favorite one, just because, and he got me back this year. But RJ obviously went to Duke, and I've known him for a while, so it was a little personal right there.
The PG shot when you hit him with the step back between the legs and he fell, that was empty arena as well?
No. That was
that 2 years ago?
That was 2 years ago.
That's okay, yeah. And did you push off on that play?
I stepped on his foot. I didn't push off. So he fell. I can't take the credit for crossing him because I did. I stepped on his foot, so he lost his balance. But fell. I can't take the credit for crossing him because I did. I stepped on his foot, so he lost his balance. But that can't be number one either because we lost.
Yeah.
We lost that game. But that was a hell of a game. That was the first time that season being awesome because I stepped on his foot, so he lost his balance. But that can't be number one either because we lost.
Yeah.
We lost that game. But that was a hell of a game. That was the first time that season PG and Kawhi played with each other. We were in LA. We went to overtime. That was a really good game.
When you have one of these, like the 51 points against the Wizards a couple weeks ago, one of these games where you just are going crazy, do you know right away, or is it like, oh, second quarter, okay, I feel like this is going to be a special night?
I knew that day. I knew at halftime. I think that was the most points I ever scored. In the first half, I had like 31, and that was like, all right, if you don't score 50, like it's on you. Like you messed this up. I think my favorite one, the one I scored 60 against the Spurs. We were down 28 points at halftime. And I remember Brad came in the locker room. He was disgusted with us. Like he was, and to his credit, we were playing terrible. But I remember I had 25 at halftime. And he came and he said, he basically was like, starters, like, y'all got 5 minutes to show, like, if we could make something happen. If not, like, we're gonna get the young guys a chance. So that one caught me off surprise because, I'm thinking like, man, we down 29 points. I guess over. And we cut it to 14 at the end of the third quarter. And we go into overtime. And for my 60th point, I catch it at the free throw line, I take a dribble, and I make a layup, and they foul me. And they didn't give me the continuation. If they would have, I would have had 61. I would have broke Larry Bird's record. But I just got to tie him. But I'll take it.
I'll take it too. Tommy, are you hungry?
Oh, wait.
Coach, don't sore muscle. They talked a ton about the intellectual side of basketball, knowing the game. And one of the complaints or observations, depending on how you look at it, from my generation of player is that your generation of player can do way more things on the court than us, basketball-wise. Dribbling, step back, drop dribble, do a step, all that stuff. We were not trained from 13 on. We did not know how to do that. And some of us never picked that stuff up. I'll throw Draymond in there too. But the complaint, the observation is you guys can do all this stuff, but you don't know the game. And certainly there's always a learning curve for anybody entering the NBA because the NBA is so different than any college basketball or high school basketball. Where are you on that learning curve of knowing the game? Obviously, you came in with an incredible skill set, but where are you on that learning curve?
Honestly, I think I'm light years ahead of where I was the first day I walked through the door. And what I tell people is, as much as you learn from your coaches and guy you watch film with and stuff, I learned a lot from players I play against. And I think coming out of college, like a 2-for-1, right? Everybody in the league knows end of the first, second, third quarter, whatever. If you got the ball with 40 seconds, you roughly want to shoot it around 30, 35, get a good shot so you can get the ball. I had never heard of a 3-for-2. And the person I learned that from was Chris Paul. I had never heard of a 3-for-2. And the person I learned that from was Chris Paul. Like I learned that from hearing him say it when he was in, the first time I heard him say it was my third year, he was in OKC. And I asked him after the game, I was like, what the hell is a 3-for-2? He was like, basically you shoot it at 105, right? 105, 103. So then you get the ball back 2 more times. Like he was like, I literally asked him after the game, like, well, you say what's up before you go to the locker room. And it's things like that well, you say what's up before you go to the locker room. And it's things like that it's so valuable because Chris Paul is one of the smartest players, right? Somebody that you would love to have on your team, and I absolutely hate playing against. I hate playing against Chris. But it was I just remember asking him that after the game of after I was like, damn, he really has this figured out. Because I had never heard of a 3-for-2. And he's been doing this for 17 years.
He's a real sicko.
He's a sicko. Do you feel like that this is one of the advantages of the Team USA experience? Just being with all these guys and getting to just soak up knowledge from guys that you probably know just from over the years playing against, but you're not necessarily on the bus with and eating with and spending a significant amount of time with.
Yeah, that was the biggest reason I wanted to go play USA basketball, mainly for the guys that you compete against all the time. Now you get a chance to get to know them, pick their brain a little bit and just spend time with them. It was a little tougher than I thought. I was a little naive of, we got Kevin Durant and Damian Lillard and Devin Booker and myself and Draymond and Bam. We just roll the ball out there. We're going to win. And shit, we lost. We lost, 2 games in Vegas, first game in Tokyo. But I think the off-the-court stuff of, obviously we were on lockdown, and our families couldn't come. So just being in the lounge with each other, playing cards, talking, sharing stories, being in a shoot around with Draymond, and he basically thinks he's the coach. But he has a shoot around with Draymond, and he basically thinks he's the coach. But he has that respect, and everybody, especially on the defensive end, is going to listen to what he has to say. But things like that you can't put a price on. Is how valuable that was.
I'm very appreciative that earlier in this interview you admitted that you see everything and hear everything. You pay attention to that stuff. It's inescapable. And any NBA player, any professional athlete, really any public figure, unless you're detached from a television, social media, it's inescapable. You see it. You see it. So I appreciate it. Earlier, just as we were sort of doing the background stuff, I typed in Jason Tatum in Google. And one of the neat features, this is fairly recent, but one of the neat features now about Google is when you type something in, it'll have your NBA.com landing page or your ESPN.com landing page. Maybe if there's a significant news story, it'll have that at the top of the page. Scroll down a little bit, there's frequently asked questions about whatever you've just Googled. And so I'm just I looked at the questions and, is Jason Tatum an all-star this year, right? What is Jason Tatum's contract? The third one, did Jason Tatum fix his back tattoo? So what? I had no idea this was a thing. But apparently you did get the apostrophe. You have fixed it.
I did. I did. Oh man, I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, I did. I got from the left to the right, a God's will tattoo. And it was the first back piece I got. It took 6.5 hours. And by the end of it, forget that, the last hour and a half, I was so ready to be done. I think anybody that has tattoos, they get to a point where sometimes it hurts so bad. You all right, it doesn't have to be perfect. Let's just get this shit over with. And that backfired. We started at 11:30 at night. I didn't finish at 7 in the morning. And I was just we'll fix it next time. I was bro, I'm done. My back is on fire. My body hurts. And I wish I would have took 30 more minutes. But
or just not, because you posted the first. Yeah, you posted it, which I get it, man. I posted my tattoos too. When I got my sleeve, I did the whole thing. I was, piece by piece. It was 4 sittings. I get it, man. I get it. I just got a kick out of that.
Yeah, that was.
I have a different, change the tone a little bit. We talked to a lot of guys about this, and I'm curious what you think, because I don't think we talked to you about this last time. In terms of young guys in the league, take the Celtics out of it. Who do you like watching? Who do you see as okay, not like young Jason, but who is okay, this person is doing something that feels different than the rest of the league?
Young, younger than me?
Yeah, or just
there's not a ton of guys.
By the way, they don't have to be technically younger than you, but it's more just guys that fly under the radar for reasons we've talked about, in the last hour. They just don't get as much attention as you've got.
Oh, so under the radar, not Luka.
Yeah, they don't have to be 19. They just have to be guys that are not all stars, not on Team USA.
I think he's on people's radar now. I think Darius Garland. I've known him since he was in high school. I've always been a fan. And Evan Mobley and Scotty Barnes.
Those are 3 good ones right there.
Evan Mobley and Scotty Barnes are Toronto and Cleveland got that right. Those two are special.
We appreciate the time. Before we let you go, I understand that you have a new candy that you've launched. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so I have partnered and invested and become a co-founder of a sugar-free candy company called Sidestep Sweets, partnered with a company out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. And it's coming out next year, 2022. I think as my son has gotten older, right, it's a lot more organic. You want your kid to be a child and eat candy and stuff like that. But I took him to the dentist today, right? He didn't have any cavities. I think everybody has cavities, right, at some point. But I think as a parent, you try to prevent all those things. And I think business-wise, I enjoy doing things that are organic to me and myself. And I think the world we live in now, we're trying to be as innovative as possible and as healthy as possible, and trying to make the world and the fun space for our kids a better place. 2022 coming out with a sugar-free candy company, and I'll make sure JJ gets.
I was gonna say, just send some my way. I'll get some to Tommy. I get it, man. I got 2 young boys, like I said, and as a parent, that's one of the daily challenges is literally monitoring their sugar intake. Right. They have a very specific palate, so I get it. So congrats on that, man. And Jason, we appreciate the time.